had a great weekend. Thank you for coming on here and joining us for story time. Today is Monday, April 6th, and I am so excited to be spending the week with you guys here on Google Classroom and on Storytime. So let's get started. Today's story is called The Case of the Missing Donut. Raise your hand if you like donuts. I for sure like donuts. So I see on the front cover, I see a little boy and he's wearing a hat that says sheriff on the front. And it looks to me like maybe he likes donuts. So sometimes in books, the back of the book gives you an idea of what the book is about. So you can read it and decide if it's a book that you would like to read. The back of this one says missing. In this hilarious whodunit, the answer might be right under your nose. So let's read and see if we can find out the answer to the case of the missing donut. Okay. Ooh, look at all those donuts. Tell me, which one would you want to eat? If you could eat one of those donuts, which one would you choose? I think I would probably choose the pink one with sprinkles because I love sprinkles. I know my friend Eddie would not choose this chocolate one, would you, Eddie? Because I know you don't like chocolate. What about this one? This one looks like a good donut. All right, let's see what happens in the case of the missing donut. Hopefully this story doesn't make you too hungry for donuts. It says, donuts. Oh, how the sheriff loved them. Cinnamon and sprinkle, glazed, powdered. Oh, they were all so tasty and so delicious, especially powdered. The sheriff and his deputy were working on a special assignment today. Their mission? To bring a dozen donuts safely home. Does anybody know what a dozen is? A dozen is 12. So his job was to bring 12 donuts home safely. So if you hear somebody say a dozen, that means 12. So their mission to bring a dozen donuts home safely. Together, the sheriff and the deputy greatly admired one donut in particular. It was so plump and powdery. Then the sheriff closed the lid. Time to get these babies home. It was a big job. The sheriff had to walk with great care. Otherwise, the donuts might wiggle around in the box. Their sprinkles might fall off. They might even get smushed. Who knew what might be going on inside that box right at this very moment? I better take a look and see, deputy. Phew! All was well in the donut box. But wait a minute. Was that one a little bit smashed? Oh, yes, it certainly was. This would not do. The sheriff decided to even it up. Oh, it still wasn't perfect. Maybe a little bit more. And just a teeny bit more. Uh-oh. Donut down. He'd eaten the whole thing. The sheriff had only been trying to make a good thing better. But now look what had happened. A donut had disappeared. Its whereabouts were unknown, and the evidence was gone. Right, deputy? But there were still so many donuts left. No one would ever have to know that a donut crime had been committed. Onward, said the sheriff to his deputy, and he closed up the lid. The sheriff and his deputy tried to act normal. The sheriff tried to carry the donuts normally. He tried to smile at the citizens of the town normally. But acting normal wasn't easy. Well, hello, Sheriff, said Mrs. Flaherty. How was that donut? The sheriff froze. Good morning, Sheriff, said Mr. Bryant. Did you enjoy your donut? Did Mr. Bryant have X-ray vision? Just then the sheriff saw his friend Kareem. Greetings, Sheriff, he said. I see it's an excellent day for donuts. Yikes! Was the sheriff living in a town of mind readers? Destination, home. And in they went. Well, look who's back, said the sheriff's dad. How was your walk? Good. Was the sheriff's dad looking at him funny? Did anything interesting happen? Said the sheriff's mom. No. Was the sheriff's mom looking at him funny? Said the sheriff's dad to the sheriff's mom. It looks as if we're missing one donut. So we are, said the sheriff's mom. So we are. Were the sheriff's parents onto him? Sheriff, would you happen to have any information about this case? It was no use trying to get away with crime in this town, especially when you were the sheriff. Tell me the truth, said Sheriff. How did you know? That's a good question, said the sheriff's mom. Maybe the deputy can answer it, said the sheriff's dad. The sheriff looked at the deputy, and the deputy looked at the sheriff. Can you figure out, friends, how did everybody know that they ate a donut? How was this case solved? How did everybody know that they were eating a donut? And then they both looked in the mirror. Case closed. So can you see, how did everybody know that he had eaten a donut? Because they both have donut on their face. So it looks like he's got some powdered and he has some sprinkles. So everybody could tell that they had eaten a donut. So that is called the case of the missing donuts. Great job, friends. Thanks for listening. I will see you tomorrow at Storytime. Happy Monday.